But I'm going to tell you like this. When I saw that, I think T.I. fucking lying.
Tell me. It been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge the motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down.
The rap game just got rocked with a scandal so explosive, it feels straight out of a crime thriller. T.I. isn't just clapping back, he's going to war. And this time it's blood-deep personal. He's suing Boosie after a leaked tape put his son King Harris in the dead center of one of the ugliest messes hip-hop has ever witnessed. This ain't lightweight gossip. This is about family honor and a legacy being dragged through the dirt. Court papers spill the tea, showing T.I. pointing fingers at Boosie and shadowy industry snakes he claims lined up a setup, leaking footage that should have never seen daylight. For T.I.,
I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have it figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything at 16 and fall in love with her. But it's be gone. How you gonna, like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his off, bro.
this wasn't just invasion of privacy. It was a hit job, a calculated ambush designed to humiliate King and crush the Harris name forever. The emotional damage? Cameras caught Tip outside the courthouse, shaking, his voice cracking as he told the press, "This isn't just about my son. This is my blood, my honor, my life. Whoever tried to bury us won't walk away free." That raw declaration went viral in seconds. Fans sharing it millions of times, saying they'd never seen T.I. look so shattered yet so fiery in the same breath. The culture instantly split. Some cried justice for King, while others swore Ty was running a manipulation play. But behind all the noise, one fact cut through. This wasn't just family beef. This was survival, reputation, and war colliding. And the internet? It poured gasoline on the flames. At first, people swore the tape was fake, just another wild rumor. But when more clips started surfacing, the truth hit like a knockout punch. King Harris was right there on camera, and what was caught was even worse. Boosie's own son allegedly got tangled up in the madness too, and that's when the internet went nuclear. Hashtags lit up everywhere. Hashtag justice for King and hashtag exposed boo trending back to back. In minutes, chaos spread like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Every feed was flooded, opinions flying, memes dropping, screenshots dissected like crime scene evidence. What started as messy gossip had morphed into a cultural earthquake, shaking not only King's image, but the entire Harris household to its core. Some fans swore it was a straight-up sabotage, pointing fingers squarely at Boosie. But whispers got darker. Rumors of an industry-level conspiracy, with puppet masters pulling strings from the shadows, using King like a pawn in a billion-dollar chess match. Imagine that pressure.
Well, of course I spoke to my son. Me and his uncles. We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and people gonna posture themselves a certain way. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life.
A young dude just trying to carve out his own lane suddenly flipped into the face of betrayal, while powerful names sat back laughing from behind the curtain. And it didn't stop at one clip. Insiders claimed more footage was out there, locked on hard drives, just waiting to be unleashed like ticking time bombs. The whispers got ruthless. Talk of labels secretly paying to push the leak. Anonymous accounts blasting the clips across the internet in minutes, making sure King's humiliation spread like wildfire with no way to contain it. For King, the weight was unbearable. Sources close to the family said he couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, felt like his whole life had been ripped away overnight. It wasn't just embarrassment, it was digital imprisonment. Every scroll on his phone was another knife twist, Another reminder of betrayal. Meanwhile, Boosie wasn't bowing down. He clapped back hard, throwing shade at the lawsuit and refusing to play the villain in T.I.'s story. Boosie fired back, claiming the whole thing was nothing but lies, that the footage was manipulated, chopped up just to spark drama. But his denial sounded shaky to a lot of people. The timing was too slick, the sudden flood of burner accounts too convenient, and the silence before his outburst way too suspicious. And then came the darkest twist yet. T.I. dropped a bomb, alleging that Boosie's own son wasn't just dragged into the chaos, but coached into it. According to T.I., this wasn't random. It was a trap, a situation designed to be weaponized against King. If that's true, then this ain't rap beef anymore. This is straight psychological warfare. Two fathers, two families, with kids turned into pawns in a dirty game where nobody wins. The stakes couldn't be higher.
With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're a rat.
This wasn't just one rapper suing another. This was a dynasty clawing to survive. A father fighting with everything he's got to protect his son's name before it's destroyed in front of the entire world. And just when fans thought the scandal couldn't get any worse, whispers started flying about even more footage sitting in the vault, waiting to explode at the worst possible moment. The storm wasn't calming down. It was getting darker, heavier, and impossible to stop. Then the bomb dropped. Literally. The leaked tape detonated across the internet, blowing up every timeline and turning King Harris into the face of public humiliation overnight. Social media drowned under hashtags, memes, and non-stop hot takes. People picked the video apart frame by frame, arguing if it was fake or real. But here's the tragedy. The truth didn't matter anymore. Once that footage spread, the damage was permanent. King's name was dragged through the dirt in front of millions. His reputation shredded before he even had the chance to build it. Supporters cried foul, screaming this was obvious sabotage, an orchestrated move to shatter T.I.'s legacy and crush the Harris family once and for all. Some laughed at him, mocking the most painful moment of his entire life. But then King finally broke his silence, and when he spoke, his words cut sharper than any blade. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't some random leak. Somebody did this to hurt me. That confession shook the culture like thunder. Suddenly, what had been messy gossip transformed into something much darker. This wasn't just scandal anymore. It was a live tragedy unfolding in front of millions. A young man fighting for his dignity while the whole world turned his pain into entertainment. And Boosie, he denied everything, of course. He jumped on live, yelling into the camera, "Y'all crazy if you think I leaked anything," trying to act unbothered, but the internet wasn't buying his performance. With years of bad blood between him and T.I., shady timing, and that eerie silence before his blow-up, to the public, he looked guilty as sin. King's legal team wasted no time, dropping a massive lawsuit loaded with claims of defamation, invasion of privacy, and emotional distress. Court filings painted the scars left behind. Sleepless nights, panic attacks, broken trust, tearing apart his own family. For T.I. and Tiny, it was pure devastation, watching helplessly as their son's life spiraled under the crushing weight of humiliation. And the internet only twisted the knife deeper. Memes, parodies, viral clips, they didn't just spread King's suffering, they turned it into a circus act. He couldn't escape it. Every phone call, every text, every stare in public was another reminder that the world wasn't laughing with him. They were laughing at him. For someone raised under the spotlight, this wasn't just embarrassment, it was soul destruction. Insiders described King as broken, betrayed, stripped of dignity, trapped in a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. And while King was breaking down, Boosie doubled down, jumping into interviews, painting himself as the victim, claiming the Harris family was setting him up with false accusations. But every word out his mouth only made the fire burn hotter. His denials felt like gasoline splashed on an inferno, and fans weren't buying it. They demanded receipts, proof that could either clear his name or expose him completely. That's when the whispers got louder. Rumors of money motives, old grudges, and industry secrets bubbling under the surface. Some swore Boosie was out for revenge, payback for past beef with T.I. Others claimed this was way bigger than a rap feud. Insiders hinting that powerful players behind the scenes wanted King's career derailed before it even had the chance to take off. And what better way to crush his momentum than a scandal so huge it couldn't be ignored? The courtroom became the stage for all that tension. Every hearing was a circus. Cameras flashing, reporters shouting, while King walked in with his head low, shielded by family. His lawyers painted a devastating picture. A young man stripped of privacy and publicly humiliated in the cruelest way. Witnesses described his collapse after the footage dropped, paranoia eating at him, trembling hands, sleepless nights. One family friend testified, he stopped being King Harris. He became a shadow of himself. The room froze. This wasn't celebrity gossip anymore. This was the destruction of a soul under the spotlight. Meanwhile, the internet stayed merciless. For every fan defending King, there were thousands mocking him. His tears turned into GIFs, his words chopped into TikTok edits, his breakdown recycled into memes for strangers' amusement. Fame, once his blessing, had become a weapon cutting him down day after day. Behind closed doors, the Harris family fought desperately to shield him. But insiders whispered that King was spiraling, and nobody knew how far he might fall. King shut himself off from the world, isolating, dodging the spotlight, refusing to even pick up calls. What was once a dream of stepping out from his father's shadow was now shattered, replaced by betrayal. And that betrayal cut the deepest. Because if Boosie really had a hand in this, it wasn't just legal, it was personal. Someone King once shared real moments with, someone trusted enough to be in his circle, might have been the very person who helped destroy him. That twist made the whole saga feel almost Shakespearean. Loyalty, friendship, and ultimate betrayal unfolding on the biggest public stage imaginable. And the whispers kept getting louder. Talk of more tapes sitting in the shadows ready to drop. Every rumor of new evidence felt like another dagger in King's back, locking him inside a nightmare with no way out. What the world treated as drama was, for him, a slow-motion collapse. Trust shattered. Innocence stolen. Hope slipping away. The culture wasn't just watching scandal anymore. They were witnessing a tragedy that could leave scars on him forever. The trial turned into a full-blown battlefield where loyalty, reputation, and truth all clashed under the blinding glare of cameras. When King Harris stepped into that courtroom, the atmosphere was chilling. Flashbulbs exploded. Reporters whispered. And it didn't feel like a trial anymore. It felt like an execution of his entire character. By now, the leaked tape wasn't just messy gossip. It had become a symbol of betrayal, humiliation, and destruction. Everyone wanted answers. Was Boosie really the mastermind behind the setup? Or were powerful industry hands pulling strings from the shadows? And then, boom! The case dropped a bombshell. Encrypted files allegedly traced back to devices tied directly to Boosie's circle. The revelation hit the culture like an earthquake. Suddenly, denial wasn't enough anymore. Suddenly, Boosie's denial sounded empty. His interviews felt less like confidence and more like desperate attempts to rewrite the script. Journalists typed furiously. Fans gasped online. And even the courtroom itself seemed shaken by the possibility that someone King once trusted could have turned his downfall into a weapon. For T.I. and Tiny, sitting just feet away, it was unbearable. Cameras caught them breaking down in tears, clutching each other as their son's nightmare was stripped bare in front of the world. This wasn't about lawsuits anymore. This was about survival. Their child was being torn apart in real time, while the people accused of orchestrating it sat stone-faced across the aisle, looking unbothered. As if they hadn't just shattered an entire family, King couldn't stay silent forever. With a trembling voice, he faced the court and the flashing cameras. "Y'all turned me into a joke, into a meme, but I'm not laughing. This ruined me. I don't even know who I am anymore." His words cut through the chaos, silencing even his harshest critics. If only for a moment, the raw pain in his voice was a chilling reminder. This wasn't celebrity drama. This was a human being stripped of dignity while millions watched. But the internet showed no mercy. Trolls twisted his confession into sound bites, TikTok edits, and viral parodies. Every tear he shed was recycled into content for strangers who didn't care about the scars behind the screen. And that's when the cruelest truth about fame in the digital age hit. It doesn't fade. Pain isn't temporary anymore. It's permanent, archived, and replayed forever. Insiders whispered that King was spiraling, locking himself away, shutting out friends, dodging cameras, refusing to open up. Even at home, The humiliation followed him like a ghost he couldn't escape. King couldn't outrun his future anymore. What once looked bright and promising now felt like an endless loop of betrayal and suffering. The whispers of more tapes only made it worse. The constant fear that another leak could drop at any second pushed him deeper into despair. How much more could one person take before breaking completely? This wasn't beef. It was full-blown destruction, and the world was tuning in like it was some twisted reality show. Meanwhile, Boosie's camp kept spinning, trying to paint him as the scapegoat of some bigger conspiracy, but the streets weren't buying it. To fans, he wasn't the victim. He was the villain of a real-life tragedy. Every attempt he made to clear his name only backfired, pouring more gasoline on the fire and fueling the backlash. The internet showed no mercy. The culture was ice-cold, unforgiving. And soon it wasn't just King on trial. It felt like the entire industry was being judged. The way people feed off pain, the way humiliation gets monetized, the way betrayal becomes trending content, it all came crashing into the spotlight. Expert witnesses took the stand, warning that what happened to King wasn't just temporary embarrassment. It was deep trauma, anxiety, depression, PTSD, lifelong scars carved into him by betrayal. And even if Boosie was held accountable, the cold truth lingered. No court ruling could erase what millions had already seen. No money could buy back innocence once stolen. And no verdict could ever wipe away the stain left on King's name. That's the most haunting part. This leak wasn't just a scandal. It was a weapon. A weapon designed to strip King of his trust, his dignity, and his peace of mind. Fame didn't shield him. It exposed him, left him wide open for the world to feast on his downfall. And now, King Harris stands as living proof that in this industry, your pain will always be turned into somebody else's headline, your humiliation flipped into somebody else's profit. Even if he wins in court, can he ever reclaim the dignity that was stolen? That's the tragic question echoing through the culture. T.I. himself said it best, with tears in his eyes outside the courthouse. "This isn't just my son. This is my blood, my legacy, and I won't let them bury him alive." That raw statement made it clear. This story isn't gossip anymore. It's a father's war to protect his child's future in a world that's eager to see him fall. So now the question hangs heavy. Will the truth ever set King free? Or has the setup already destroyed him forever? Because sometimes the cruelest part of fame isn't chasing it. It's surviving it. And that's where we leave it. Will King Harris rise again? Or will this betrayal mark him for life? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.